Alright, here we go. So it looks like, actually I think their load screens are the same. Yeah, so fun little fact that I believe there are like 4 or 5 different ways that you'll enter into the game after selecting a file. And in races, you could save a second off RNG. So what Icefire is doing is, or actually both of them are doing right now, are just utilizing different movement tech. So for example, what you saw was earlier with the scan dash. The game normally has a combat strafe mechanic where if you lock onto something and dash to the side, you'll gain a burst of speed and then you'll lose that speed. But there's no sideways speed cap in the game, and if you let go of L, you actually maintain that speed cap. Looks like Diggle did a double jump there almost. Oh, interesting. Which is impossible due to what's it called? The fact that none of them have space jump. I just thought it looked interesting. So one thing you might be noticing is when they're jumping, they will hold L and then release L. This is called an L jump. Basically what happens is Samus can gain increased speed off the second half of the jump, but not the first. And letting go of, and holding L locks speed. So basically you would start while holding L to keep the speed. And then let go halfway through to gain speed. And it looks like neither of them are opting for Cody Ledge, which is a little reposition flip you can do in order to skip that first elevator that they were on. Alright, so Parasite Queen. Basically what Icefire is going to do is just going to hold up on the C stick and aim up towards Parasite Queen's mouth. So L jumping and scan dashing are two completely different movement techniques. Scan dashing is used on locked targets, and it can be fully scanned. L jumping is basically jumping forward in a line, like what Icefire is doing right now. And so we'll see what methods of escape that both runners attempt to use. So Icefire is going to go out of bounds. Basically what he's going to do is he's going to go into a very specific spot, and that'll allow him to flip out. So now Icefire's out of bounds. And basically the movement that he's doing right here, this is all very, very intentional, and you can basically say it's nearly scripted. Basically, the player knows exactly where to jump. Oh, by the way, these jumps that Icefire is about to do, he got stuck in the bottom. So I guess I can explain Aether since he's stuck at the bottom. Yeah, so he's back up. Basically, every room is surrounded by a bounding box that has normal physics, but outside the box, you basically just float up pixel by pixel. And these jumps that Icefire is doing right now are basically him going back, or just being outside the box and then going back into the box, which gives a 3-frame window to jump. For anyone who doesn't know, this game runs at 60 frames per second, which means you have 1/20th of a second to hit the button. Definitely really difficult, but once a player practices Aether jumping enough, it becomes rather intuitive. although it's still missed plenty of times because again it's not easy to consistently hit 1/20th of a second inputs. And so what Icefire is doing here in door work, basically just letting himself letting the room load around him, and it seems like that's good to go. And yeah, Icefire is out. So, Icefire did skip the item launch trigger that Diggle's about to hit. However, that doesn't really mean anything because there is another item launch trigger when you land on Talon 4. So unfortunately, Icefire still doesn't have items. And then what he did there was a dash to the right, and this is a very, very intense sequence break called Space Jump First. It's basically, if you can dash, you can do this trick. And it busts open the early game quite a bit. So you're going to see Icefire heading over to Chozo Ruins right now. The purpose of that is to get many of the items that were lost in Frigate, including Charge Beam, Morph Ball Bombs, Missiles, and Varia Suit. Oh, I believe I said bombs. But yeah. So again, Missiles, Morph Ball, Charge Beam, Bombs, Varia Suit are the main items that are going to be collected in this area, but not the way it's intended to. So normally when you come in here, the game basically leads you to what's the boss called Hive Mecha, and you normally have no choice but to go for this boss. This is Icefire's Space Jump. He's just going to grab this missile expansion, and that has the same effect as the missile launcher. The only difference between the two is the missile launcher has a fancy cutscene and the expansion doesn't. Yeah, Charge Beam will also be grabbed in this area. Nice double jump dash by Icefire. So basically, double jump dashing is a dash technique that's only been used like within the past like 3 years. And what it does is it sacrifices distance for speed. I know that sounds a little weird, but it's basically like a burst of speed for a short distance. Ooh, nice one. So in this room, Icefire pauses because this room will not open until every adjacent room is loaded, but for some reason, if you open up the map, the door will open early. That's because that room is already loaded, and again, it's just waiting for the other rooms to load. Diggle on his way to get Morph Ball right now. Let's see, Icefire's here to grab Charge Beam. Nice dashing over the Reaper Vines. Fun fact. The Reaper Vines actually have an internal code name. I believe internally it's called spankweeds. So yeah, I'm honestly shocked I remembered it as Reaper Vines because to me they're always spankweeds. But anyway, Incinerator Drone is this upcoming boss fight that icefire is about to do. We lovingly named this guy Zoid after the developer, the senior developer, David Zoid Kirsch. He said in a Skype call once for AGP 14 when Claris was running Metroid Prime. Yeah, that's what I mean, Felicity, thank you. He mentioned that he actually loves randomness. And so this boss, Incinerator Drone, you have to hit a weak point, which you see icefire doing now, or you see icefire has been doing. It is all luck based. There's 35 seconds of variance over the four different hits. So yeah. Looks like icefire is actually pretty good. I can't tell because normally I would have the music to listen to, but it actually didn't look that slow. Ooh, I can actually switch. Alright, so let's see how well Diggles. Oh! Icefire is doing a different route. So this is the faster route, RTA, or real time, because you go off of the in-game timer. This was the old any percent route. If anybody has seen T3's 53, I believe this is the route that's being used. Or it could possibly be early X-ray. I don't know which one that icefire is planning on doing. So basically, this trick is called Icy before Flagra. And so just like with Frigate, he's going to be wall crawling all the way over to Reflecting Pool access in order to get Ice Beam. Now, icefire is standing and morphing in like places that may seem random, but the reason it's hit load triggers, like for example that one. Hit that load trigger and is basic. So what he has to do for these rooms is jump on top of the door. Oh. Furnace movement was pretty good, but the ending there was a little bit unfortunate. But he can just aether jump up. It's not too bad. So again, moving to hit a load trigger. And he misses the standable spot. So yeah, there's some spots that there's like not standable collision out of bounds. So you get stuck, and you can use a morph ball bomb in order to no longer be stuck. And so Icefire is now getting Ice Beam, and we'll see from here what he plans on doing. He could be doing Thug Route, or he could be doing the new X-Ray route. Ah, looks like he's not doing the X-Ray route. So he is doing the... Oh, is he gonna... Oh, come on, get it. Nice. What is he... I haven't seen Ghost Skip used here ever. Is he doing delay? No, he's not. So, basically Icefire is just waiting for these ghosts to appear, shooting them with fully charged shots, and the fourth shot, the fourth fully charged shot will end him. There it is. That door is actually surprisingly easy to dash through. And so Diggle right now is doing Flagra, and Icefire is on his way to do that. Basically, for Flagra, you're gonna notice that Diggle, enters, and then immediately just shoots down the mirror. So what you're supposed to do is shoot down these mirrors, and Flagra will come back up, and then you're supposed to shoot 2, then 3, then 4. But these triggers are actually, you can actually like use a bomb on the side and it will work. It's weird. Yeah, this fight can potentially be dangerous, so let's see how it goes. Alright, so looks like Icefire is starting, and Diggle just finished. So, this may seem like a slow boss fight, but in terms of the in-game timer, which only ticks up when you have direct control of Samus, it is actually extremely fast because this whole thing is mostly cutscene. Like, this is usually the time in the run to check Twitter. This and a trick you'll be seeing a little bit in the future. If you're not checking Twitter during the little breaks, are you even a speedrunner? Kidding, of course. So now, Diggle has... Icefire is almost about to finish Flagra, and there it is. So what Diggle is about to do is reload this room, but he wants to reload the room when it is changed to what's called a new layer. And instead of having Flagra, or, well, Flagra's carcass at this point, what he wants is to have a ghost fight happen. And so if you go down this shaft, there is an invisible trigger that changes the layer of the room that Flagra's in. And so what you can do is if you hold up left here, you can infinite bomb jump up and be able to go back to the room. You're normally not supposed to be able to do this. You're normally supposed to get super missiles and spider ball and then come back here later. It's really slow if you miss this. Like, you can lose like 10 plus minutes, you know, messing this up. So it is like, it's run over if you mess this up. And so what Diggle's trying to do here is stun these ghosts, because you can actually get him in a perpetual stun lock. Again, go places that are just not fun. They'll go to places that aren't fun, and it's just they can be a pain. Diggle's not having a good time right now. Oh, he got that one. I think it's the last one. Yeah, it looks like it. Thanks, Andros. Diggle's just gonna dash off the item, which if the last ghost that dies is in a good place, you can actually dash off it. If it lands in a terrible spot, then you don't want to try dashing, it'll just waste time. Looks like Icefire just finished as well. And now, both players will be on their way to Magmore Caverns. It looks like Diggle's ahead right now, but remember that Icefire got Ice Beam earlier, so... that definitely makes a world of difference. Their routes should converge at some point in Phazon Mines. I believe once you hit Power Bombs is where the routes will converge. So yeah, you can just get that artifact of nature simply by shooting 2 missiles at its location. And Icefire took a safety save. Ooh, going through this tunnel with all the triclops is not fun if you don't get it quick enough. If you don't make a certain cycle, it can be a pain. Icefire just getting nature himself. Let's see what Diggle decides to do in Monitor Station, because there are a lot of strats. Oh, well. Yeah. So there are a lot of different strats in this room. This one involves doing what's called a slope jump, which is you're holding L up against the slope. I've never seen that before. Weird camera. That was weird. Anyway, if you're holding L up against the slope, then Samus's horizontal speed, some of it will get converted to vertical speed, and you just gain a lot of extra height. That dash that Icefire did is not easy. And both of them decide to get our favorite energy tank in the whole game. It's called Race Tank. Nice incident unmorphed by Icefire. Diggle is letting this cutscene play out because Samus will take a step forward, which saves some in-game time. Since the race is based off real time, I have a feeling Icefire will not be skipping it because I've seen him go for real-time strategies. Yep, so you notice how Samus is further back in Icefire's run? That was because he didn't let the cutscene play out, and Diggle did. And so you're going to see a slope jump from Icefire to get over this. So that's a different strat. It's one that's been around much longer. Diggle did a newer strat, which is actually quite difficult to get quickly. So Diggle has Boost Ball, and Icefire is about to get Boost Ball. Oh, nice dash from Icefire. Diggle's timer had -8 on it because we usually start our runs with -8, and so it just didn't line up, which is why Diggle's timer got removed. Yeah, it's a really good Fen Cannon strat. Everyone say hello to Ridley and his absolutely massive shadow. Hi, Ridley. Hi, massive shadow. And so what Diggle did... Oh, whoops. Thought it was Icefire for a second. What Diggle was trying to do was do a dash across. Because he's planning on going out of bounds again. And Icefire is about to do the same thing. And so both runners are out of bounds right now. Well, Diggle's almost out of bounds. You gotta be careful here, because falling in this room is nasty. Absolutely brutal if you fall here. So, the reason they basically close the door to the other room is because if you don't do that, the game will crash if you try to open up this room. Nice Aether jump. Again, 3-frame window, that is not easy. Icefire navigating this room pretty quickly. Diggle's having a little bit of trouble landing spots that aren't standable, but he seems to be okay. It's really bad. Just to give you an idea, you have to find a corner in a large room, and you have to jump all the way up to the top. It's awful. It's really bad. So Icefire is back inside, and what he's doing is he's going into this corner, and basically he's just going to have Samus rotating over and over and let it continue for about 50 seconds. And basically Samus's rotational speed is increasing exponentially. And there will be a point where Samus's speed gets too high and the game struggles, or the game is unable to calculate numbers that high. And so what happens is the shell will disappear from Samus, and Samus will be in this state where whenever she boosts at a value called not a number. Boosting at not a number will allow interacting with multiple interactable actors at once, which means you're going to see this. 2 Samuses, and yeah, so Samus got the wave beam. Samus started the Shigoth fight, so that's why you saw 2 Samuses. And there's one more thing that was grabbed: the artifact of Sun, which is basically trapped inside in Chozo Ice Temple, which is the room Icefire's in right now. And you can't get that normally without Plasma Beams. So the reason Wave Sun is used is to avoid having to come back here later. So once these runners are out, they will never see this half of Phendrana ever again. So now Icefire is heading back to Magmore, so is Diggle. Their routes are going to change very soon. So the route's going to look very different. So Icefire already has Ice Beam. So what he's doing is he's heading over to get Plasma Beam right away. Where meanwhile, Diggle has to go and get Ice Beam. Actually, I was wrong. I don't think the routes are going to be the same until after, until like final bosses. But that depends on what Icefire does. Excuse me. There is a Life Giver earlier. I don't know if Icefire is going to go for that route though. See how well Fiery Shores is. This room is so fun when it's done well. Nice. So Icefire dashed and did what was called bunny hop after. If you are holding L and R and you press B on the first frame, then you can do what's called a bunny hop, which you'll see right here to actually skip this room. And you basically can maintain your speed if you press B on the first frame. If you press B on any subsequent frame, you will lose speed, but you can still make up extra speed just from the momentum that you get. That Cyclops pit, or not Cyclops pit, that room that you did a bunny hop in to jump over a lava, normally you need Spider Ball for that room. Ooh, and Icefire is going to be skipping 2 of these platforms. If you go in a specific spot, you can get a really nice, basically it's like a slope dash up, and then land on this spot, which is very, very precise. It's much harder than it looks, and then jump over. And that allows you to skip 2 of the spinners. You don't need to bring those platforms up at all. Pretty neat. And then what Icefire is going to do here is going to do a slope jump into an R jump in order to get up to the top. An R jump basically allows you to turn in the middle of a jump, and Samus can gain a lot of increased speed. Diggle, on the other hand, is heading to Chozo Ruins again. He's going to be grabbing a few things: the Artifact of Life Giver, a Power Bomb, which I'll explain later, and Ice Beam. While Icefire is heading over to Phendrana to grab 2 artifacts: Thermal Visor, and Power Bomb. And so Diggle's going to be going to where the Morphball room is. There's actually a door above it that you can reach just by a well-placed dash, and there's actually multiple ways of doing this room. So Diggle failed the dash, but is able to do the backup pretty cleanly. Nice job. And ooh, oh wait, this is a frozen pike on icefire side. Nice boost. So Diggle is about to get Artifact of Life Giver. If you remember, I mentioned something about slope jumping earlier. That is amplified in water to an extent that you don't even need space jump to get this. You're supposed to have gravity, but gravity suit is actually is way too far away and doesn't help up. So I swear, grab the power bomb up at the top. Normally you're supposed to have grapple beam for that power and to actually just navigate this room in general, but you could stand on almost anything and slope jump and R jump, and yeah, there's 1.5 million ways to get up to that power. Nice boost. Oh, not quite getting the Hazel strat there. Yikes, that was sketchy. Thought he was about to fall. So, Diggle on the right is doing another infinite speed. This one is to grab a power bomb on the other side of this room. The power bomb is actually locked behind a wall of Bendesium, which you need a power bomb in order to destroy. So, definitely something Diggle is wanting to do in order to get the power bomb that he needs. Icefire got hit with Vendrana. It's just a difference in route. So yeah, Icefire went through that room back, and there's a pirate there named Edward that we lovingly name Edward. And he could sometimes not break the. It's terrible, absolutely awful. Oh no, what happened to Diggle? Oh, he's fine. So if you unmorph during infinite speed, you get this thing called Light Show, and Light Show can be pretty awful. Actually, it's really awful. But if you morph in a spot with a fixed camera, it'll go back to this, so you can actually just boost. This is why Diggle shot this save station door earlier. It was because if you don't shoot this, you have to go all the way back to the elevator down to Talon, which is a huge detour. Extremely inconvenient. Light Show does have the. So yeah, Light Show absolutely has the potential to crash the game. Not as much in Prime 1 as it is in Prime 2, but it's still possible. You have to be very careful. Well, infinite speed can crash the game. Sorry, let me be more accurate. Looks like Icefire just got thermal visor. Fun fact: if you get thermal visor before getting the artifact of Elder, that pirate I mentioned earlier will never break. So Not something you want to do. Diggle currently on his way to get Ice Beam, fighting this ghost. And Icefire is on his way back to Talon. Nice dashes by Icefire. Alright, so Diggle's getting Ice Beam, Icefire is heading back to Talon. Alright, looks like Icefire is going back to going to Chozo real quick. This little detour is to grab the artifact of Life Giver. And Diggle getting a power bomb as early as he did allows him to get Plasma Beam right now. Or not Plasma Beam, X-Ray Visor right now. And X-Ray Visor is absolutely essential. You cannot beat the game without it, so it's needed. Also, you need to get Artifact Chozo. Miguel, it's faster RTA to do this route than it is the current route. So because of getting that power bomb earlier, Diggle was able to get X-Ray Visor much earlier. Thermal Visor isn't required, but it helps. By the way, the trigger that the power bomb needs to hit is actually above Samus, so that's why Diggle tried boosting up that little piece of rock. You do it after getting Life Giver, Miguel. Nice. Fire's on his way back to Talon. This is going to sound like a little bit annoying, but basically what Icefire is going to do is go to Talon, do some movement in order to get to the other side of Chozo, and then go back into Talon. Yes, it is that complicated. Fill up here, so icefire is going to take advantage of this opportunity. So normally this is supposed to be a one-way room. You're not supposed to be able to get back up here. But again, you can kind of jump on most things. So if you jump up here, you can do a dash all the way across and just come right up. And Diggle's on his way to get Plasma Beam. So he has to go through Talon. Actually, they're going to pass each other right now. Watch this. They're going to pass each other. Oh, bye. Yeah, basically. Callius. It's a metaphor. Not quite. Diggle's jump was a little bit was much higher. So now what Icefire is doing is going to get X-Ray himself. The difference is, unlike Diggle, who needs to go to get Plasma Beam and do all of Parthvendrana, Icefire is going to be going directly to Phazon Lines after. So yeah, Icefire got his power bomb much earlier. The reason this missile expansion is grabbed is because this room the next room takes so long to load that you can actually grab the missile and still beat the load. Like that. He beat the load by like a second. Half a second to a second. Like, this room takes forever to load. That seedling has a 100% chance to drop a power bomb. It is a soft lock prevention just in case someone, decides to go in there and only has one power bomb. They're not going to get trapped. Diggle's trying to get a slope jump up here just to get over. Because normally you need Grapple Beam to get Plasma. Grapple Beam, Boost Ball, and Spider Ball. So yeah, Icefire a moment ago did an R jump to get out of the room. Normally you're supposed to go up, fight some ghosts, and go through a hole at the top. But, And so what Icefire is doing here is what's called gate skip. And basically, you're not supposed to be able to get through here, but there's a small area you can squeeze through, and Icefire got second try. Nice. It can be pretty tricky, and it's honestly an awful trick in my opinion. Diggle using the platforms to the side in order to skip having to use Spider Ball. So yeah, no, Icefire can phase on mines. And so the goal here is to get a couple artifacts, main power bomb, phase on suit. And those are the main things. I'm drawing a blank on if he needs to grab anything else. I think so. Oh, not fun for Diggle, that workstation. You do not need to grab Gravity Suit. It actually is extremely slow to grab it. So you can just grab, or so you can just skip it completely. No need for it. So Icefire is just going to jump on top of this pirate's head. Icefire is currently ahead. But his audio has been a little off, so it's currently on Diggle's audio. So basically, Icefire is going to rapid fire miss this guy until he dies. If you don't come within his range, then he'll just like ignore you. Or if you don't, not within his range. If you don't move in front of him, he'll just ignore you. Also, let me see what maze is this. So there are 300 possible mazes that can come out of this. And oh, he got a 19 square. Nice one. Yeah, so there are about 300 mazes that range from 15 to 55 squares, odd number not counting 53. So I don't think the Cloak Sentry is scannable. At least I don't remember if it is. Might be. I don't remember. However, you're not supposed to have X-ray there to get it. So having X-ray makes the fight incredibly easy. Few plasma shots or super missile and hundo to instantly delete it. Yeah, this room that Icefire's in right now can be rather tricky. This is one of the rooms where Icefire needs to do some tricks to avoid Spider Ball. And oh, that Metroid! No, that Metroid was so mean. Wow. That's dirty. That is dirty. Oh, man. This isn't good. That's not fun. Oh my god. Wow. Oh man, those Metroids played him real dirty. Wow. Oh yeah, I forgot. So basically what Diggle did there was you can actually just like jump over the barrier and shoot it in order to get Artifact of Elder. You don't need to go into the control tower and shoot the window with Plasma Beam. I forgot to mention that when Icefire did it a while back. This room that Icefire's in is really dark, so Thermal Visor helps with being able to see. And it's intentionally extremely dark. That is entirely on purpose. So now Icefire is going to be fighting Omega Pirate. Now, Omega Pirate basically works the same way. If you skip the cutscene, then he'll just be on the side, and if he'll just turn around like an idiot unless go in front of him. So, what troopers is he gonna get? Ooh, Plasma, that's really good. Plasma is, like, best case scenario. Worst case scenario is probably Power, honestly. Even though Wave is a little bit weaker, Power is just awful. Because Wave at least locks on. And so, Omega Pirate will spawn in this, sorry. Omega Pirate spawns in the pool furthest away and will not spawn in the same pool twice. So you can actually know exactly where Omega Pirate's gonna go. And fun fact, you can use a power bomb to kill Omega Pirate. The problem, or the thing is, you need to have X-Ray Visor active. If you don't have X-Ray Visor, Omega Pirate will not be damaged. This is why X-Ray Visor is absolutely required, and it is definitely the biggest limitation when it comes to routing. Like, no doubt. So Diggle is going to grab, or is going to go this way into mines with that power bomb he has. This zoomer here has a 100% chance to drop power bomb. This one isn't a soft block prevention. This is a more of a, I don't want you to have to go back and your life's in a huge inconvenience thing. Because that would not be fun. That's not cool. So we can thank Retro. Sorry if you hear me yawning. I got like 3 hours of sleep last night. So Icefire is getting this artifact now, Artifact of Newborn. After this, he will have one more artifact to grab, or 2 more artifacts to grab. 1 more in Phase on Mines. Diggle is on his way to get power bombs, so their routes are about to be, or their routes are about to converge. Alright, their routes at this point have converged. So right now, Icefire is very, very far by like at least like 6 minutes, if not more. Convergence. Oh, funny enough. Wearing a shirt that says Convergence. No, the artifacts remaining are Warrior, World, and Truth. Truth is at the very beginning. Alright, let's see if Diggle has just as much luck with his maze that Icefire did. Because Icefire got a 19 square maze. You can get up to 55. As low as 15, as high as 55. Alright, let's see. Alright, Diggle got a 27 square maze. Not as good, but still, like, 27 squares is actually pretty decent. It's one of the better numbers you can see. A lot of mazes are in the mid-30s. Oh, he's going the wrong way. Okay, never mind. He figured it out. Oh, nope. Nah, there he goes. He's like, whoop. Might be. So Icefire is going to skip this cutscene trigger that activates the pirate by jumping over it. And you can just, like, squeeze through. A power bomb there actually hits these boxes, which each one has a 70% chance to drop a missile. And yes, I have had it where I've got nothing but energy there. And for an optimal phase on elite fight that Icefire is going to be doing in a little bit, you want 24 missiles. Also, so what Icefire is doing here is called a bomb space jump. Basically, if you notice that you can unmorph instantly, if there's a camera obstruction, you can actually jump within 21 frames of leaving the ground. So about a third of a second after leaving the ground, and then you can just wedge yourself here. And just jump up. And so this one's a little bit simpler, it's just jumping on collision, although this rock is awful. Icefire got it, which is good. But that rock, I've lost 2 minutes on that rock before. It is terrible. Nice dash by Diggle. Okay, so Icefire is entering that dash though, on the other hand. Icefire is entering this room backwards. And so he needed to boost through the wall. And so, fun fact, that box there, or basically what was holding the phase on Elite Pirate in, that cannot be opened unless you have the main power bomb expansion. If you try to lay a power bomb and you don't have the main power bomb expansion, it just won't work. Will not work whatsoever, so gotta make sure you have those main power bombs. And Icefire is just going through ore processing. This is a very slow spider puzzle that you can just skip. I would say runs that you would see on average would range anywhere from like an hour and a half to about an hour and 10 minutes. The difference is huge because of movement, but yeah, it just depends on the skill of the runner. At top level, it's like I think the best time is like a low 110 TA, and 49 minutes in-game time by P3. Yeah, so Icefire is heading out now. Again, he's got 2 artifacts left. Diggle's doing Omega Pirate right now. Icefire is hopping Great Tree Hall. Alright, so yeah, the reason Icefire couldn't get this earlier is because he didn't have Plasma. So, just quick little detour to grab it. Nice on Diggle, getting Omega Pirate down. Can do a slope jump to get up here a little faster. Icefire is about to get to the end of the game. So, final bosses are coming up soon. There are 3 of them. There is Ridley, Metroid Prime Exo, and Metroid Prime Essence. This room takes about 8 seconds to open. It takes a while. Alright, so Icefire is about to grab the last artifact, Artifact of Truth. Alright, so what Icefire is doing is shooting down Ridley right now. Did you get it? Nice, you got mid-air boost. So you notice that Meta Ridley's health is like down to like 20% or less. So here's the thing. Boost Ball has this funny little property. It deals 50,000 damage per frame. And it works on Ridley. For whatever reason. So you can just skip the entire flying phase. Ground phase, on the other hand, isn't affected, so you have to defeat Ridley. If you hit Ridley's mouth a little late, he ends up becoming invulnerable. It's awful. Also, if Ridley tries to like dash at you, you have to manually aim to hit him. This has been fixed in, I believe, PAL, JP, and Wii. And nice, Ridley goes down. So now Icefire is going to the end of the game, and again is going to be fighting Metroid Prime Exo and Metroid Prime Essen. Diggle, on the other hand, just did the BSJ to get up the shaft here. Look like Icefire is not opting to do Exo Skip. Exo Skip is a new trick. Well, it was discovered a couple years ago, but it's only really been figured out in the past like 6 months. And skipping this fight can save up to 2 minutes. If you want to take a look at that after the race, my 53 is a really, really solid example of a good exo skip. But I will explain the exo fight since Icefire is in here. Basically, there are 4 colors. There are 4 subchambers. So the first subchamber only has 2 colors, yellow and purple. It stands for power and wave beam. The second subchamber only has wave, power, ice. The third subchamber has all once each. And the last subchamber can be completely random and like a pain. So we'll see what happens here. Some rules. In subchamber 2, which is what Icefire is in right now, one rule is like the last color you see will not be the first color in the next set or in the next subchamber, except for wave in subchamber 2 for whatever reason. Another rule: when going into subchamber 3, you have a 50% chance of getting power, 50% chance of getting plasma, unless your last shot, or unless your last one here is power, like in this case. So because power was the last one, subchamber 3 can have a 33% chance of getting either ice, plasma, or wave. Although usually, almost every time I've seen power at the last phase here, it goes to ice. In this case, it was wave. Interesting. So again, there's randomness to this. That's just not fun, which makes which potentially makes exo skip incredibly fast. So, what Icefire is doing is manipulating her. So Exo has this melee attack where she just lunges out, and you can jump over it, no problem. And you can just use that to, manipulate her. Because she will always go for the melee attack first if you're in range. Alright, looks like power, or ice. Ice is next. This is the penultimate. The final one will be coming in just a moment. This is an absolutely solid run by Icefire. Alright, so in the final subchamber, you can if you're far enough away from Exo and not manipulating her to use the melee attacks, the colors can just change randomly. It's not fun. Your hope is to get power ice, and the worst is power wave, power wave. Just because of damage, power and wave deal much less damage than ice or plasma. Fully charged ice does, or no, sorry. Wow, that is mean. That is brutal. Fully charged power beam shot deals 50, wave does 40, ice does 60, but has a 1.5 times multiplier because Metroids are weak to ice. And plasma is 100. Yeah, you do not need any super. None of the super missile variations whatsoever. Even in, like, casual play, the only one that's required is Superman. Metroids are dragon type. I love that. That's so great. Alright. So, what Icefire is going to do is he's going to go into the pool. Now, basically what Icefire is trying to do is a thing called attack canceling. And what this is going to do is Metroid Prime, after being canceled, having her attack canceled enough times, is going to lay another pool right away. And then just do it again. And one more time. Although in this case, what Icefire is going to do is just go in and out of the pool. Because what this will do is it will stop the pool from draining. And you can still get damage on her. And so after a few times of doing that, all Icefire needs to do is just stay in the pool. And he's done. Excellent job on Icefire's part. I'm going to see if he's going to come in here. So we can have a little post-race chat. Ah, there he is. Hey, Icefire.
What's up?
Not much.
Wasn't watching.
How did you feel after that?
How did Diggle's run go?
It actually went pretty well.
I see
Diggle's
it.
doing pretty well. Yeah, he's about to go to final boss.
Nice. So I hope I didn't keep you too busy with the route change.
Oh, I had a lot to talk about. I was like, ooh, this is interesting.
Yeah, that was the idea. Just give something else to talk about, and so if one of us was really far ahead, it wouldn't just be a case of player 1 is doing this, and then later player 2 is now also doing this. So just try to keep things different.
Yeah, I was able to go and be like, oh, Diggle doing this on his own, you know, because basically some of the strats that you don't do, or
Yeah.
that you don't do in that route. So it was actually pretty neat. We were debating whether you were going to do Thug route or early X-ray.
I'm not Chad enough for early X-ray, but it wasn't Thug route either. That was the 53 route.
I thought that was
T3
Thug
did.
route.
Thug route doesn't get Life Giver when I did, so I did that Chozo backtrack to get Life Giver before going to
Oh.
FCS. Thug
Okay.
route just delays Life Giver to the end of the game, so no, that was just an old in-game time route.
Oh. Nice.
Now that's a sub-hour that means something to me. That's the
Yeah,
first time
that's-
I've gotten sub-hour with that route.
That's pretty good. Nice
route.
one.
That route's so hard, man.
It's not easy. That route is not easy. So yeah, it looks like Diggle's on his way to fight Ridley right now.
Those Metroids, man. Every room a Metroid was in, they managed to bother me.
MQA, that Metroid was dirty.
I was
Metroid was dirty.
I was laughing at MQA, like it just kept going wrong.
Yeah.
And then just to follow it up, they screwed up my FHB both ways, and then I fell down. They also bumped me around in orb processing. They were just being jerks the entire run.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, so Diggle didn't go for mid-air boost. Yeah, my main mic is packed since I'm moving in 3 days.
And the quality is not that bad. It's perfectly listenable.
Yeah, it's AirPods actually.
Is it?
Yes.
I didn't know those things had mics.
Yeah, they do.
Mix.
Oh, nice hit by Diggle.
Oof, he's running low on missiles there.
Completely out of missiles, actually.
That last EXO phase.
That was also bad.
It was so perfect. Just power wave with the ice switch bait right at the end.
The ice switch bait was.
It was just so perfect.
I'm not gonna lie if I said I didn't like that. That would be lying.
Yeah, it was. I was too. It was just the perfect way to demonstrate how stupid that fight is. I should really learn how to skip it.
Yes, it's so nice to skip it. It saves 2 minutes.
When it first got found, it saved a lot less than that, and it looked really hard. You know, I was kind of on the fence. I was like, "Hey, this is, you know, it's cool. We can skip it now," but it looks pretty bad. But now it's just so fast.
Yeah, it's like Vertigo did an incredible job often.
Yeah, there'll still be plenty of races left that'll showcase that for sure.
Vertigo and I will be early July.
When are you racing?
Once I'm settled, new place, so probably like July 3rd, maybe 4th, whatever.
Gotcha.
I'm moving on the 1st, so I don't want to. I'm not even streaming. I'm not touching Prime. I'm just focused on thing.
That's the right thing to do for sure. Thanks for commentating, by the way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I figure, you know what? I figure AirPod mic isn't going to be the best thing in the world, so.
It's better than silence.
It really is. So I was like, ah, screw it. Let's go.
Let's see how this EXO goes out for Diggle.
Yeah. Is this first part of Subchamber 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got ice for one. That's pretty good. As long as he can get the snipes. Missed one, number 1. Ah, he didn't get him. Those snipes can be pretty tricky.
Yeah, this is definitely a boss that needs practice to get right.
Yes.
It's not something a runner can wait to reach and runs to get better at, for sure.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, or just give you guys an idea, like, over the course of learning this run, I saved like 2.5 minutes fighting this guy. Can you imagine if Ice Beam hit Metroid Prime?
Oh god, I wish I saved that picture it's from. Justin GM's MS Paint pictures. And it just has that like randomly in a corner.
I love that. That is so good. Yeah, Icefire, when it comes to exit skip, probably the biggest thing is the BSJ.
Oh yeah, doing the secret world. That seems so hit and miss. I see all these players way better than me missing it. I'm just like, man, it's got to be tough.
I've learned how to do it pretty consistently, but yeah, it's not easy.
Dude, that was a good. I think it was completely by accident, but he was hitting all those ice shots.
Yeah, it's actually really solid. Wow.
Doesn't get the charge snipes though.
Careful here. Oh!
Yeah, those with one tank, those things can kill.
Oh, that's scary. That is sketch. Oh, and he's going for the snipe.
Oh, he still has a sub chamber left.
Yes, he does.
This is gonna be a sketch fight.
This is really sketch. I'm.
Oof, energy low. Come on, Diggle, you can make it. Just don't tank anymore.
Oh no, come on, you got this.
Oh.
Oh, just don't go for snipes, dude. Just please don't go for snipes.
This is gonna be a wild last subchamber.
This is like edge of your seat type content, everyone. Let's hope he's lucky. Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
He's still going for the snipes! No!
Oof. Well, he took care of those orbs really well, though.
That was actually solid, because I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. Oh, nice, got 20 energy, at least.
Well, Exo's being a lot kinder to the Diggle than it was to me. Plasma Ice to start off.
Exo can be so mean. She's so mean. Alright, so one more subchamber, or one more phase, not one subchamber.
For anyone looking to run this game, as you can see, it can be pretty hairy sometimes. It's definitely a game that will.
Oh my goodness!
All right, he made it through.
He made it.
That was close, so he got hit by the breath. But as I was saying, this is definitely a game that will force you to learn good work ethic for speedruns. As you just saw, you need a lot of practice at pretty much every part of this game. It's not a game that you can just grind runs to get better at.
Oh no!
Oh! Rip.
Oh man, he jumped too early.
Yeah, and he wasn't looking. Oh, poor Dick.
Oh,
He made it right to the end.
so far. Is he forfeiting now, or is he going through it again?
Let me check.
Check on SRL, please.
Yeah, he did.
All right. All right. Let's see if we can get him in here.
Well, better at the end than in Frigate.
That's true.
That Frigate wall crawl, I was way too nervous.
Yeah, there was the fall one. Hey, at least that fall gave me time to explain Aether jumping.
I was so scared I was gonna do the secret world and fall down the unloaded elevator.
Hi,
Yeah.
I died.
Hi,
Hi, yes you did.
Oh god. I really thought I jumped over that, and then I died.
Your jump was early.
Yeah, it was.
When you hit the jump, I'm like, oh no, and then I saw it. I was like,
Honestly, it's more funny than anything. The run was already dead because of that EXO.
That EXO was sketch. It was edge of your seat type content.
Yeah, and I was just playing like garbage for sure.
You were landing.
It still was edge of your seat content.
Yeah. And that one ice phase, like you hit every shot.
Yeah.
I'm kind of rusty on this, and yet I almost PB'd somehow. Like, well, not somehow. I did Wave Sun for the first time, and that saved like a minute.
Oh, nice. That was
Yeah,
your
that
first Wave Sun.
Yeah, that was literally the first time I've done it in a run, and I'm just glad I didn't fall at all.
Wow, that's impressive. I'm impressed.
Me too, honestly.
I wasn't watching stream, but I heard from Venmi that your run was pretty solid.
It was okay for a while, and then ore processing happened.
What happened at ore processing?
Ore processing happened. Or I fell down the last jump like 3 times, and I lost a minute and a half on that room.
Yeah, it wasn't so hot for me either. I'm pretty sure those Metroids have names, but I forgot what they were.
Yeah.
All right, so there is a few links, or 2 links I'm putting in the chat. One of them is an any percent tutorial for Metroid Prime by Remy Demi. And the other one is going to be our community Discord server. You can ask anybody in the server if you're interested in running, need to know what you have to get, or anything, any questions. There are many people willing to help. You know, let us know and we'll be there.
Yep.
Oh, I got nothing more to say.
Chat there.
Yeah,
I don't really have anything more to say either.
I'm gonna go do another run because I'm this close to getting a PB.
Ooh, yeah. So, Diggle, are you still gonna be streaming?
Oh yeah.
Should go watch Diggle. Follow him. Follow Icefire.
Well, I don't stream that often, but feel
Still
free to
follow him.
Yeah, follow him anyways.
It's I don't know how to get it. SpeedGaming. Oh, there it is.
All right, well,
yeah.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and thanks for the commentary, Vinny, once again. Thanks for the
Of
race,
course.
Diggle.
Oh, of course, thank you. And GG again.
All right, take care, everyone.
See you later.
Yep.
All right.